Hey guys, Brian from the PT channel here to talk about the movie Creed. Now, for those who don't know, Creed, as in Apollo Creed from the Rocky series, is a movie that just came out on 11/25, day before Thanksgiving, and it's really Rocky 7. There's been other Rocky movies, and this is the continuation of that story somewhat. Now, the movie Creed, Rocky, not really the same thing, but it's a continuation of that area, connection, environment, storyline, just series of movies. Now, for those who don't know, Rocky came out, the first movie of Rocky came out in 1975 or 1976. It was shot in 1975. And the opening scene of the first movie was November 25th, 1975. So that was 40 years ago to the day that it came out. And Sylvester Stallone is an actor and a writer in this movie, as in the other movies. And he is the secondary actor of this movie. It's really the first time that he's kind of the secondary actor. Rocky 5, he was kind of that same role, but that's really the worst movie of them all. Any Rocky fan would know that. So if you're checking out Rocky for the first time, check out the movies in order, chronological order, of course, but just you're going to be let down with Rocky 5. But either way, Creed is what we're talking about here. Now, I'm not going to talk about spoilers too much on there, just some fun facts, some things there too. I'm not going to recap the movie by any means because I want you to go see it. The review is really that we want you to go see it. Now, it takes place in a couple different settings. Basically, Adonis Johnson, played by Michael B. Jordan, is Creed, is Apollo Creed's son. And there's a couple things that go along that storyline, but he's the main actor in it. And he actually does a really good job as the main character. It's kind of his main starring role. He's in a couple other shows and movies in there too, and he's a pretty good actor, up and coming actor, and he does a good job in it. As good because Sylvester Stallone is 69 years old, and he can't be in the ring boxing anymore, so he basically becomes the trainer of Adonis, and that's the story you follow. Now, Michael B. Jordan is 28 years old. It's pretty good to have him in the ring, not a 69-year-old Rocky or Sylvester Stallone. This is the first movie that there's no Paulie or Adrian or Duke, the trainer for Apollo, and then later in Rocky series. But they continue the Greek mythology on there, as Apollo was the Greek sun god, and Adonis is the demigod of beauty and desire. As for the movie, we thought it was great to see trainer Rocky. It was a good role for him. He thought Sylvester Stallone is awesome. He does a good job with this. He is Rocky. You know, Rocky is Stallone, Stallone is Rocky, so it's hard to separate the two. Rocky is fighting Father Time and also something else in the movie, so you're kind of rooting for that, rooting for him, rooting for everyone in there too. You feel the connection with Rocky and really Adonis himself. You're rooting for Adonis. He comes from a troubled background. He comes from an up-and-coming fighter. He's never been taught. He's never been trained. He's never been helped. And you're rooting for Adonis. Now, you feel you're rooting for him during the entire movie. You don't feel like you don't like him like this. You see where he's coming from on there too. So, a couple other things. This is the longest film of the series. The first movie by Warner Brothers of that. They had to really fight for this movie for the continuation of them. After the last movie, Rocky Balboa, it kind of has his conclusion in the ring. So he's kind of being the trainer aspect of it. It's pretty cool to see that. Now, basically, this is the Rocky story with a different fighter. It's basically Adonis is Rocky growing up kind of thing, where he's an up-and-coming fighter and needs help, and needs guidance on there too. And it kind of follows the same plot of Rocky 1. He gets his shot, he does these things, and that's kind of the story for it. I'm not going to tell you what happens. I'm not going to tell you because I want you to go see the movie. Creed is a good movie, worth your money. Nowadays, movies are so expensive that we don't want you to go waste your money on and time and effort on any of these movies because it's so expensive. But Creed's actually worth it. It's a pretty good time there too. It's like 2 hours or so, and they shoot Philadelphia very well. It's very cool to see the city again, and they shoot it at many different angles. And he's running down the street just like Rocky did, and it's kind of come full circle on there too. The old school versus the new school, and the new school versus the old school. They do some old school training, they do some new things, new technology, and Stallone's pretty cool. He brings the old school methods, and him and Michael B. Jordan, they do a good job. Adonis and Rocky have a good bond in there too, and it's actually a really cool movie. And there's going to definitely be some more in the future, hopefully. Hopefully Stallone lives that long. I mean, he's an old man. Like I said, he's 69 years old. Hopefully he'll get that going on there too. But as for it, you want to go see this movie, that's for sure. You can eat the rush before the whole Star Wars and Hunger Games and all that other stuff are going on there too. But definitely check out Creed. If not, wait for a movie rental or Redbox or something. But definitely check it out over time. It's definitely worth your money. So as always, guys, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. And as always, thank you.